We go.
Okay.
And we're live.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff. Hi, Annette.
Can John, do you have what's the latest score of the Sharks and Avalanche?
It was 2-1 a second ago. Let's see. Oh, come on, phone. It doesn't take that long.
Can we have these in-game updates too?
Yeah. Yeah, we got to be doing that.
Yeah, it's still 2-1. Oh, it's 3-1.
No, it's 3-1.
3-1. Oh, never mind. We don't need to talk about this anymore.
No, that's cool. Let's talk about it.
No, we're good. All right, and this is giving me fits again. All right, all right, here we go. What is going on?
A goal by Jonas Donskoy, which is almost as hard to pronounce as some of these Croatian wines that we're drinking tonight.
Yeah, no kidding, right? All right, test. Why is it maxing out there?
Yeah, it's pretty hot, bro.
Is it hot to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, how's that? Any better?
That's too low.
All right, how's that?
That's pretty good. Why don't you give it some gusto? Let's see what happens when you top out.
All right, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, let me see. Maybe this is it.
Am I the only one that has sparkling?
No, you are not.
Okay.
How am I sounding now?
Sound good.
Okay, you guys are super low. All right, give me a mic check, you guys.
Mic check, microphone check. You better watch out or you'll break your neck. John's not doing anything. Is he frozen? The things we do for you viewers. I can't hear anything. No. Uh-uh. I can't hear you. I don't know. Okay. Jeff, you were on for like a second. I heard you, and then you went. And now you're gone.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's up with John? John, are you still on the show?
Are you muted, John? Is your microphone muted?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Where the hell did you go? That was like the weirdest thing.
I don't know. I don't know. Technology. What the fuck?
Okay.
Okay.
Dimitri wanted to say that review was ridiculous. The answer from Toronto should have been, who cares? He had no effect on the play. And this isn't why we gave you replay. I don't even watch the games, bro. All I know is the Stanley Cup is as good as mine.
All right.
Every hipster in San Jose is gonna drink fine Napa Cabernet out of that Stanley's cup through a straw. A straw.
A plastic straw or a paper straw?
A paper straw,
It's got to be a paper straw, right?
which we will not recycle.
All right. How's my sound now, guys?
Good.
You
It's
sound
good.
great, Jeff.
All right. I think you guys are looking good too. Give me a mic check, John.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Solomon.
Looking good, feeling good, eyebrows on fleek. There you go. Thanks for the chuckles.
All right. I think we're good there. At least we'll call it good.
I went and got my hair cut. I said, make me look like Dimitri does after he plays hockey.
Well, at least that lock of hair isn't picking your own nose anymore.
That was cool, man. You got to try really hard to make it look like you don't care these days.
All right. Nothing's working well tonight. But
You know what's not working well?
look at this sparkling wine that I'm drinking here.
The goalie for the Avalanche. What's your wine made of? What grape?
Same as yours.
Oh, it is? Okay. Hold up. I got to look up something new for grape hopper pop culture. Shit. I knew it. Mother.
It was going to
F.
be Portugueser.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight's going swimmingly. All right.
What to do?
Get rid of this. All right. That's working. That's working. All right. You guys ready to do this?
No, I got to look up a new grape hopper pop culture. I got one though.
It's not going to be Pavelski, is it?
No, it's not going to be Pavelski. Come on.
Okay. Did you guys get a chance to look at the articles? Did anything jump?
We got to talk about the points.
Oh, all right.
That's a rant or 10.
Dimitri, wine scores, worthwhile or worthless?
I think that should be the discussion, because even the way that you wrote it in the show notes, Jeff, because I didn't click the article, you got me all fired up, man.
All right. All right. I think we're good to go. You guys all set?
Yes.
All right. You all set, Dimitri? Cool. All right. Let's do this. The We Like Drinking podcast is sponsored in part by Wine Still Sold Out. Get wine at the best price online, one at a time, till sold out. Visit WTSO.com/WLD.
Hey guys, this is Stu Smith. I'm with Smith Padron Winery in St. Helena, Napa Valley, California, Spring Mountain. Welcome to the We Like Drinking podcast, where you never drink alone.
At the sound of the tone, the official We Like Drinking time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
This week on episode 226 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing wine knowledge giveaways, wine scores, and we're all popping corks, and butchering all the Croatian words this week. So crack open your beers, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking. Oh my goodness. I've been like trying to loosen my tongue up all week, be able to say these words. I've got my Hawkins going. I'm ready to go. I don't know if you guys are.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, sometimes we even butcher the English words.
Yeah, most of the time.
Sometimes we butcher the English.
Sometimes we butcher our own names. It's been known to happen. So cheers, my Padres drinking friends. Except we don't butcher. You know what? We don't butcher, Jeff Solomon.
What's that?
We don't butcher the word. We're very good at saying that word properly.
I say it a lot and always in the proper context.
Is that with one M or two?
By the way, we're recording on Wednesday, March 8th, while the Sharks are dismantling the Colorado Avalanche 3-1 in the second period. Just about going into the second halftime. I don't understand how you could have three halves in one game, but whatever.
Oh, that's
those Canadians. Good. They figured that out.
That's not how this game was supposed to go. But cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 226 of the only two-time second period award-winning topical beer and wine education podcast focusing on
education.
There we go.
That's my favorite cereal.
I'm just prepping I'm just greasing the wheels now for the way the rest of this episode's gonna go.
Excuse me, do you have any puffed education?
Has it got some muesli in it?
By now you've realized that you're listening to what is obviously 226 episodes of solid podcasting gold. And so if you haven't subscribed to the show yet, make sure you visit welikeDrinking.com/subscribe. So you can hit the big button, depending on what kind of phone you're on, and get subscribed to this this magic sauce that we produce every week. Hey guys.
Hey Jeff.
Hello.
Hope everybody's doing well. Let's find out who these lovely voices belong to, but not what they're drinking. We've got our wine blogger, Jeff Solomon.
Hey, that's me.
We've got our beer brewer, John Ruyak.
That's what it says on my driver's license. Yeah.
And I am your host, Jeff Eccles. And tonight, folks, this is a once a month. We have what we call a drinking episode where we go deep on a specific wine or wine style or grape, or in this case, an entire country, I think, something like that. We are drinking Croatian wines this week. I am pretty excited about this. We tried to do this like 3 months ago, but I was just not having a good day. And I said, you know what? We're not going to do the show. John had already opened his wine by that point. So it was going to be, we were all going to drink sparkling wine. But now the place that we got the wine from was sold out of the sparkling wine. So now John is just drinking. What are you drinking, John?
I'm drinking Chirljenek Kastelanski. And the C in the beginning is pronounced like a TS. So that's Chirljenek Kastelanski. So I went, you can get these, like when I was in Costa Rica, I'd have this Spanish to English, English to Spanish translation all the time. And I'd punch in stuff that people would say to me, like, oh yeah, or I'd try to figure something out to say to somebody. And I went to the Croatian to English version of that, and I typed in Chirljenek Kastelanski, and it translated it into Chirljenek Kastelanski. It didn't have anything to give me at all. I think a couple times I went through, and Kastelanski I think means crushed. So Chirljenek, from what I saw, is the original Zinfandel.
Well, we'll just go with that for now. How is
We'll just make shit up.
Hold on, I'm trying to get something for you here. Here we go. Here we go. This is how the rest of the show is going to go. This is what it's called, John.
Crnjenak kaštelanski.
I was pretty damn close.
Crnjenak kaštelanski.
Yeah, you didn't do bad. Okay.
So for anybody that not sure how to pronounce all this stuff, I did link a website in the show notes for how to speak Croatian and pronounce these words.
Forvo is also a great resource.
There you go.
All right, so you are drinking the Krajanic Kafliaka, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff Solomon.
Well, tonight I am drinking a sparkling rosé. Such a difficult word to pronounce. Griffin. I'm drinking the Griffin rosé. No, there is a name above it. I think the producer is Ivanchik. I'll go with that.
Krešimir Ivaničić.
Yeah, Krešimir Ivaničić. This is the Griffin Rosé, which is made of 100% Portugueser grape, which Miss Jancis Robinson said is a early ripening light red grape that makes, you know what Jancis says, it's ordinary ass wines. So I'm sure this is going to be fantastic. I do have something else that I need to drink tonight. Do you want me to talk about it now?
Yes. Hold on. I got to lead us into this. All right. First, I want to talk about what I'm drinking. So I am also drinking the Griffin, but Jeff has the rosé. I have the dark side. This is the same grape. So this is the Portugueser grape, red grape, but they let this one rest on the skins. Cold soak it to produce the color. I know if you're not watching this, you're not going to see it, but this looks like a deep dark Pinot Noir. This is such a red sparkling wine. Even the bubbles are coming off a little bit purple. So this is a very unique wine. They call this like the blood of something. Where is it? Anyway, but so we'll get into that a little bit later, but you know,
it honestly, it looks like straight up like fizzy Manischewitz from this end. So it's the blood of Manischewitz is what I'm going to call it.
That's right. They call it black champagne is what they call it in Croatia. So, you know, we have our Patreons. So for Patreons that are the $10 or higher level, when they're there long enough, we reach out to them and we're like, hey, Patreon, if you would like to pick a cast member and let them drink a specific drink, it is your turn. And so as part of this episode, Jeff is going to be double fisting it tonight. And our good friend Annette R. in Iowa has asked Jeff Solomon to drink her bar down, John Ria gets that one, favorite drink in the world. Jeff Solomon, I'll let you unveil what you're drinking tonight. And I do believe Annette R is watching.
I think this has something to do with me trying to be as disrespectful as possible to the Colorado Avalanche. I found out that the name of their roller rink is called the Pepsi Center. And so I swear it came after that. Like within a day, Jeff goes, hey, you know, it's time for Annette to choose who drinks, and she chooses you. You're going to drink Diet Pepsi on the air.
This is my favorite listener Patreon drink giving we've ever had.
You know what's crazy? I remember as a child when I actually did drink sodas. I remember the first time I saw one of these like 7.5 ounce cans, and I'm like, what kind of joke is this? Who would ever buy that? But I'll tell you what, if you're a grown up and you shouldn't be drinking this stuff and you're getting forced to, you're kind of glad that the 7.5 exists. So I have a 7.5 can of Diet Pepsi, and to class it up the only way that I know how, I'm going to be pouring it into a Russian River Brewing Chalice. Is that what this is? And what do you know? Right off the bat, color-wise, it's brown. The bubbles are kind of tan, and on the nose.
Those are some fine bubbles. Those was this double carbonated? Was this bottle carbonation here?
Yeah, can carbonated, I guess. You know, they're following suit with all the craft soda makers. They're putting them in cans now. On the nose, I will say, having not had Diet Pepsi in like, I don't know, 8 years or something, on the nose, it's a lot zestier on the nose that I recall. Like it's almost got like some citrus going on. I'm sure if I read the ingredients here, I'm sure they added some citric acid in there somewhere. Yeah, what do you know? Citric acid right after caffeine. They added caffeine to a cola product. Like that's crazy. That's like sprinkling chocolate powder on top of a candy bar. It's nuts. Okay. Now I'm gonna drink some of this.
You don't have to get any aromas of aspartame or anything like that.
No. Yeah, is aspartame the yeah, it is. They do use aspartame. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna get cancer now.
We'll probably watch it happen on the show, I'm guessing.
That'd be rad. And just kind of like, yep. Cancer.
Annette R says loving this with some excellent.
Okay, so here's the sip just for you.
Make sure to really work that around in your mouth. Get vigorous with it.
I'd rather not. You know the worst part about Diet Pepsi is it tricks your body into releasing insulin when you don't need it. So I'm probably gonna faint within like the next like couple of minutes. I don't get it, man. And it's such like aspartame is really sweet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like cloyingly sticky sweet like I recall from other sodas in the past. But the thing about like Diet Pepsi, and I want to say maybe diet sodas in general, is they just taste hollow. You know what I mean? Like you taste it and you're just like, it feels empty. Like, why would I bother? I can't believe this. I bought a whole 6-pack of these things. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of them. Like I would say if it was any other food, like I'd give it to like a shelter or something. But it's like they don't. You don't want to be giving cancer to homeless people. I actually want to help people, so I don't even know. Thank you, Annette. It was very thoughtful. I don't like this at all, but it was very thoughtful, and that's the thought that counts. The Sharks are winning 3-1.
Still 3-1. It's still in the second intermission.
Well, it's still second halftime. So
okay,
we'll see what happens in the third half.
Oh my goodness! Thank you, Annette. That was a lot of fun. I'm guessing 6-pack's gone by Saturday. Solomon's hooked now. He's got the itch.
Yeah. Itch to throw it in the trash. I'm not even going to recycle those cans because I think it might contaminate the plant.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's do this, Jeff. Since you are high on aspartame right now, what do you want to tell us about Croatian wines?
Nothing. I thought I was going to do wine, beer, pop culture reference.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess we won't do the tasting until a little bit later. So let's get into
wine, beer, or pop culture reference. What's that?
Or aspartame.
Or aspartame. This is where I'm going to give these gentlemen a term. They're not gentlemen, F these guys. I'm going to give them a term, and they have to tell me, is this a wine, a beer, or a pop culture reference? The term this week is Aldrich. Is Aldrich a wine, a beer, or a pop culture reference? John, the Ruminator, Ruyak, what do you have to say?
Aldrich. That's Aldrich.
That's correct.
Aldrich.
With a capital A.
It's the name of something.
Well, since the new royal baby is Archie, it can't be that. I was close. Aldrich. Wow. Something strikes me as somebody being in the news whose name is Aldrich. Oh, is that the dude who pitched a no-hitter for the Oakland A's yesterday? I'm going pop culture reference.
Okay, John's going pop culture reference. He thinks that Aldrich is the name of Mike Fiers, the pitcher for the Oakland A's.
Okay. Never mind.
Jeff Eccles, what do you think?
Oh, there's so many options we could go with Aldrich. I mean, they're all going to be pop culture reference. So I am going to say pop culture reference as well. I'm going to, I'm just going to go with that. I don't think that you're going to go with my college roommate from 1992. So I don't know what, but I'm just going to say pop culture reference.
I think the great thing here is knowing that you went to college in 1992, so you guys were probably like rocking out to like the Gin Blossoms and Toad the Wet Sprocket, like just some traditional college music. So you're saying it's some sort of pop culture reference, but you just don't want to.
Yeah, but not
your roommates. So basically, if it's pop culture, you win because it would definitely not be your roommate. Well, gentlemen,
the last time you threw one out, it was like your best friend from.
Well, gentlemen, I do want to say I know a whole lot about Portugueser because that was going to be the thing that I was doing this week. Aldrich, Mike Aldrich is the equipment manager for the San Jose Sharks. Go Sharks! And here's the thing about the Avalanche. Like, how awful is that? I'm just going to name our team after something that has, like, ruined lives and families. Avalanche? Really? Okay, sorry. Aldrich.
Oh.
It's a pop culture reference.
It's a smooth running machine tonight. Okay. So back to the research we did for the show.
Jeff, what do you have to say about Croatian wine?
Should we bring Dimitri in here?
Dimitri's yelling at me right now over the internet because he's like, wait, doesn't San Jose have the earthquakes? Yeah, I didn't name the team, dude. I don't go to those games.
Okay. So for John already mentioned that his wine is the predecessor or the grandfather or the clone. I'm sorry, it's the same grape as Zinfandel, right? Jeez, look out for this episode. That's all I'm saying. Right, that's the one you're drinking, right?
Correct.
It is
Crljenak Kaštelanski.
And Jeff and I are drinking the Portugueser. So as far as the Portuguese go, this grape was believed to have been originated in Austria. Not a very widely found grape. Only 2.9% of total vines in Germany, 8% of Austria will you find this grape. So you're not going to find this one in California, I don't think, anywhere. And it's also found its way into Slovenia, Croatia, other places like that. Anything else, Solomon, that you've got?
You might find it in some like esoteric French wines as Portuguese.
Okay.
But that's Croatia.
So none grown in Portugal.
No, that's the crazy thing. I bet you that grape, it just reminds people of like, because there's a bunch of there's a bunch of shitty grapes in Portugal that nobody remembers the names of, and they're like, it reminds me of one of those. We'll just go with that. Portugieser.
Okay, so as far as like the ones, I don't have anything on your wines, particular John. On the ones that we're drinking, as we mentioned before, Krešimir Ivančić is the winemaker of these, and he just decided that he wanted to have some fun with these. So he actually, when he's making these sparkling wines, they were getting confused with like Pinot-based wine, so he wanted to do something completely different. Massive aromas, and that is where this dark side wine came from, trying to get the color out of it. He uses cryogenic maceration. So he takes the grapes to a very cold temperature to slow fermentation down as much as possible, so that it can allow the grapes to sit on their skins and really get that color absorbed into them and the tannins, so that the final product, even though it's a sparkling wine, retains that typical character of the Portugieser grape.
By the way, Stub of Cork Envy and One Bourbon, One Shard, One Beer, he's watching, and he says it's pronounced Portuguese. Jeff.
Oh, really?
Well, for talking about the grape in France, but
sorry. Gotcha.
Just had to get that out there. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Stub. You just hear Stub's name and you hear the sweet, sultry tones of the man that's made voices made for radio, Jason Stubblefield.
You just smell like bike chain grease in a garage.
Host of the fantastic One Bourbon, One Shard, or One Beer podcast.
And they've been killing it lately. They actually do research before their shows.
They do. They've gone more research, less insults lately, and I'm sure that's about to change in 5 seconds when stuff gets up. So as far as Croatia goes, it used to just be they had a couple wine regions. They had basically coastal and inland or continental. They've since broken it up into I want to say 4 areas now. They've got Slovenia and the Danube. They've got Croatian uplands. They've got Istria and Kvarner and Dalmatia. So those are the primary regions that you can get the wine from. These grapes are coming from, hold on, I do have to do it.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Plesavica.
Plesavica, yeah. Which I think is more centrally located. Yeah. Good stuff, Jeff. At least. All right. Let's just get into these things. This is kind of embarrassing. John Riak, why don't you take us out?
Well,
hold on a second. We can't do that yet. Because it's time. All right. We're gonna have to take a moment here.
No laughing during the live read, I know.
Okay. All right, we're gonna cut a little bit of that out, I think.
You think?
Yeah, I think. All right,
Mr. Producer.
Hold on. So I don't even remember where we dropped. Shit. Okay. So that's what I know about the wines that we're drinking. John, I'm not sure if you got any more that we'll get into later, but I do want to take a second to thank John and Irene from Topochines Wine. That's Topochines. We purchased these wines from their website. They bring in a lot of Croatian wines. They bring in a lot of Eastern European wines in to their little wine shop online in the Napa Valley is where they're from. So thank you to John and Irene for helping us out with getting these wines.
Thanks, y'all. We're excited about it too.
All right. So now let's get a word from our sponsor.
Receiving your wine in ideal condition is critical to your overall experience with that wine. Wines Till Sold Out has you covered. Go to WTSO.com/WLD and check out their hold feature that allows you to purchase premium wines at a deep discount and have that wine delivered at your convenience. So if you're out of town or if you're heading into the summer heat like we are now and you just want to wait for better weather conditions for your delivery of that wine, you can do just that. So check out that hold feature as well as their other value-added services at WTSO.com/WLD. And don't forget to use our exclusive coupon code WLD2019 for even bigger savings at checkout.
Awesome. Great job, John. And a big shout out to Wines Till Sold Out for being a sponsor of our show. John, did you want to congratulate yourself or talk about how well you did?
On what? I did my job. That's enough, right?
You know what? Doesn't John have like a little like Motel 6, like we'll leave the light on for you type of thing going on?
There you go.
By the way, the Avalanche they scored another run, so now it's 3 points to 2 points.
Excellent. Here, don't call it a comeback. It's a field goal to a safety. I like.
Are they going for a safety? Are they going for the extra point or the 2-point conversion?
All right.
After they scored that run in the third half of the bottom of the ninth inning. What?
At like any time during an NFL game, you're allowed to randomly like bounce the ball off the turf, and if you kick it through the uprights, you get a point.
A point,
just randomly.
Yeah, drop kick.
I think Doug Flutie did that once.
And that was in the Canadian Football League, though, right?
No, NFL. True story.
All right, so Solomon, how about we get started with you? You are again drinking the Griffin Rosé. Is that correct?
That's correct. 100% Portugueser, or as they say in French, the grape that reminds me of Portuguese people. So this has a wonderful, I would say it's more pinkish on my end from your view of the camera here. It's got more of like a salmon color, but it does have more of like a pink, actually almost like a peach skin type of hue. And on the nose, and by the way, like tiny, tiny little bubbles just like frequently popping up from the bottom of the glass here. On the nose. Wow. So I'm getting like some strawberry. I am feeling like I am getting like a little like peach or apricot skin as well.
To get any, I hate to be suggestive because I drank that wine way back in the day when we didn't do a show. I got a lot of that strawberry you're talking about, but I was waiting for you to see if you came up with anything else that I recall.
Well, I was gonna say that it is pretty herbaceous on the nose too, bordering on, and it's not anywhere near as strong as what I'm about to say. It's like a super faint, like eucalyptus, like a homeopathic eucalyptus treatment, where it's like the tiniest molecule of eucalyptus is in there as well. But there are like some herbal notes on the nose as well.
I seem to remember some rose petals, but that would be something that would come out pretty strongly. But
you know, I can see that. Like almost like a waxy rose petal. You know, I'm not the type of guy that stops and smells the roses, if you know what I mean. So that's not the easiest one for me to equate there. On the palate. Wow. So what's interesting here is that I'm used to drinking sparkling rosés that really, to me, aside from the color. Typically, when I drink a sparkling rosé, it reminds me a whole lot of like any other like sparkling white wine. But this very much has red fruit characteristics on the palate as well. And I'm so overwhelmed by it. I need to kind of take another sip and pinpoint these things. Yeah, so I'm getting more of that strawberry. I am getting, again, like some peach or some apricot skin, but I'm getting almost like a brambly, like raspberry type of situation here as well. Some nice citrusy notes. I think Annette would like it for that because she loves when citric acid just gets thrown into stuff. But this is more of like a grapefruit type of play, like grapefruit flesh and grapefruit pith. This is very pleasant. I like this a lot. It's totally it's to me, I would say this. I feel like there's a lot of folks that they pick up sparkling rosés because they're festive, but a lot of times it's difficult, especially like domestically, unless you're really fine-tuned to it, to really tell the difference in flavor for a lot of folks from their typical sparkling rosés and sparkling whites. This one is definitely like red fruit driven, and I like this quite a bit. Good job. I kind of want to go to Croatia and mispronounce some shit.
I remember enjoying that. Yeah, I remember the strawberry play on the nose, and it was very, very aromatic. I mean, just a wonderful smelling wine.
Yeah,
and so it's pretty interesting. I was gonna have John go next, but since it's the same producer and same grape, and it's just this one was produced a little bit colder and had a little bit more soaking on the skin. I kind of want to get into it because they're massively different from your description to what I'm getting. So again, I'm drinking the dark side. This is the fully red, like Syrah or deep Pinot kind of color with the purple bubbles. On the nose on this one, like I kind of went looking for the strawberries and because I really expected if you got them that strongly that I would get them. And I do get like some ripe strawberry aromas, but really there's this dusty cellar kind of earthy note that's way more pronounced than the strawberries. As well as, John, I do get the rose petals that you were talking about even above the strawberries. So I'm getting a little bit more earth, a little bit more funk kind of notes before I'm getting to the fruit. I do get that strawberry, and I do get a little bit of just some grape jelly or grape jam kind of notes. I know people don't like you to say that when you're smelling wine, but I do get a kind of a grapey aromatic on this as well. On the palate, the palate is interesting on this one. It's not sweet. I mean, it's a dry wine, sparkling wine, but it has kind of a grape soda kind of play to it. But it's very effervescent. But it's almost like a grape Jolly Rancher kind of flavor. And then there's some earthiness, there's some darker notes that kind of come in beyond that. So it's very refreshing. It's not cloying at all. I do like it. This would be one that would be popular at an event, at a dinner party or something like that, because it's a very playful kind of wine, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and we like drinking. Thank you so much for purchasing these wines for us. I guess thank you, Patreons.
Thank you,
right?
Patreons. That's right.
And thanks for everybody that visits Wines Till Sold Out as well. But since it was our organization that purchased this, I don't even know how much this rosé was, but I'd imagine it's not too over the top price wise.
Like $28.
Yeah, I think they're somewhere around in the mid 20s if I remember right.
So you're gonna find that around the same price points as your nice sparkling domestics, but they're just different, and I think that's really cool.
And of course, if you're heading out to Tapashin's Wine right now to go ahead and buy them, yeah, we bought them all. They're sold out.
They'll get more.
Sorry about that. All right, so John Ruyak.
So yeah, again, I got this Triljenak Kostelansky, which is I guess the original Zinfandel. They did some DNA comparisons, and it's genetically identical to California's Zinfandel. And so I guess
1994 when I lived with Dave Aldrich. Actually, it was a couple years before that.
I guess, yeah, it made its way from Croatia to the southern tip of Italy, where it's known as Primitivo, or something else there as well.
Yep.
And then so there's something. Anyway, so this wine is made by Vina Matella. The winemaker is Ivan Kovac Matella. So I tasted this wine. I got this wine today, so it's traveled for a day or two and kind of jostled up. So what the nose is still a little bit hidden to me. The fruit, there's a little bit of dark red fruit in it, but it's still the wine's still kind of closed up, I think, a little bit from traveling. And I think that's a shame, because I enjoy Zinfandel. I wanted to enjoy this wine. I love the label. Dude's the winemaker sitting on a burro.
Dude with the donkey. Yep.
Dude with the donkey. But on the nose is just kind of one-dimensional, and I think that's because of the travel. And on the palate, it's kind of dry and tight. It's flinty. It's a little flinty, which minerally, which I think, if you're familiar with Croatia, and this is produced in the Dalmatia, Middle and South Dalmatia. I mean, the Dalmatian mountains are like limestone, I think. And so I get a little bit of red fruit. I get, I opened, and I knew this was because I got this wine today at work, and I set it upright, and it left it upright the entire day, didn't move it, drove it home, opened it up about an hour after I got home, and just let it sit in the glass for quite a while. So I don't think there's any aroma loss. I've been giving it its slightly swirls, but I think the tannins are kind of tight, and I think they're masking the true flavor of this wine. So we were fortunate enough to get 2 bottles. So thank you guys. And I think I'll wait another couple of weeks to open the other one, because I don't think this is a fair review. Normally I get a wine in the mail and it sits for at least a week before I open it up.
Yeah.
So
what's the ABV on that one, John?
14. You can, it's got a pleasant, the alcohol has a pleasant presence. I just don't think this wine is served well by the travel.
Yeah.
I think it's a little shook up. It's got a little jet lag.
It's got to rest a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's not like a fruit bomb that you're.
No, it is not a fruit bomb. The color is nice. I mean, there's a nice, it's a nice. Oh, it's not inky, but it's dark, and it's got a nice ruby rim to it. I don't think any of the off flavors is a bottle fault. I mean, it's not oxidized. I just think it's
just a little tight. It's just got some jet lag, like you're saying.
It's all sugar.
So it's a shame that I didn't have this a little earlier, but you could tell there's a nice wine under here somewhere. I wish I could taste it tonight. I can't.
All right. Jeff, anything else?
Nah, I'm good, baby. Thank you very much.
Do we have a score on the Avalanche versus the Sharks?
Still 3-2 with about 6 minutes left in the third half.
Come on, Avalanche. All right. Well,
This guy's rooting for Avalanches now. Dick.
You know how I can tell that's not really this wine is better than what I'm getting right now. The tannins are really tight, and but they're not grippy. It's not. I'm not drying out. It's
okay.
you know what I'm saying. I mean, they're there, but it's not like I'm not chugging a glass of water afterwards. So to me, it seems like it just needs to settle a little bit and release the true nature of this.
Yeah. I hear you.
So give it about a month, and I'll try the other bottle on the show and see if I like it better.
There you go.
What kind of food do you think you would be pairing with that?
I had a couple of slices of cheddar cheese earlier. I did, I did have a salad that had a little bit of red onion on it, but I did eat a couple of pieces of chocolate and cheese to cleanse my palate and make sure I didn't have any of those onion aromatics before I tasted the wine. So,
Do you think it'd go good with a peanut butter banana sandwich?
no, I think this is. I would say this is a hamburger wine, not a steak wine.
Nice.
I don't think he's getting your joke. That's the way the rest of the show is going. So, all right.
Nobody does, baby. Nobody understands me.
All right. I think it's time to climb up on a soapbox. So let's get to.
Yeah, don't pass out and drown in a bowl of oatmeal.
It's all this aspartame, baby. I can't help it.
It's booze news. We discuss interesting, noteworthy, or sometimes we just get mad or something. All right. So I was cruising the interwebs this week, and I saw a pretty popular writer do a blog post about how we should just abandon wine scores and just get rid of them. You know the drill, because there's only a couple people that really produce the wine scores, and now everybody's wines are produced to make that person happy. And well, I don't like those types of wines, so this really chaps my ass, and we should just not do wine scores anymore. And I think we've talked about this before, but this one, I see this article a lot in the community, and I get it from the blogger's perspective, wanting to write this, but I thought we'd bring it up on the show and just get some thoughts on this, what we can do. Stub or Dimitri, if you guys are watching, or Annette, anybody that's watching right now, if you've got some thoughts on it, chime them in so Jeff Solomon can read it. But Jeff Solomon, I'm going to throw it to you. Wine scores, worthwhile or worthless?
This is one of those things where if you had asked me when I first started getting into wine,
Yep.
I wanted to see scores as much as possible. I wanted to see scores as a consumer, because part of it is, especially when you're getting into wine, you realize pretty quickly like how much you don't know about the subject. But I think the one thing that I think somebody newly getting into wine doesn't truly understand is how much their own preferences actually matter, right? It's tough early on when it's intimidating, and it's like you just want somebody to tell you, what's good and what should I drink. That being said, I think if you're new into getting into wine, I think maybe the critics are the last people that you really want to hear from. I would just kind of go into tasting and go with what's popular, what brands do you see around, because they must be doing something right if they're selling a lot of it, and just kind of go from there, and then figure out where your palate is at. When I was back in the day, when I actually really thought of myself as a wine blogger, I would do scores. And part of it was because I just thought that's what you're supposed to do. You do a blog, you describe it, you put a score at the end. It just made sense to me. And so it was really, for a long time, I was a slave to assigning scores to wine.
Oh, no. No. All right. There he is. Oh, is he coming back? Oh, this episode's going to kill me. The Avalanche must have scored, and all the San Jose Shark fans are taking to Twitter to blow it up, to complain about how dare the Avalanche tie up a game with them. The best part is Jeff Solomon can probably see and hear everything we're doing right now, and he's just looking like he's farting. All right, so John Ruyak, we'll get back to Jeff Solomon in a minute or 5, but. And this relates to beer. This relates to spirits. This relates to all the drinks. What are your thoughts on assigning scores to a specific cocktail or drink?
I've got so many thoughts about this, and let's just take this wine here that I'm not truly enjoying because it's not. It wasn't presented itself in the best way. I mean, it's nobody's fault. It just showed up that way, right? I can tell that the wine's well made. There was skill involved in making the wine. It's not pleasing to me right now, and that could change based on my own taste buds, the situation, just the fact that this wine's going to sit around. The other bottle that I got, because I got 2, is going to sit around for a couple more weeks, and then I'll try it again and see what I think. So there's a lot of subjectivity. There's a lot of unknown factors: the travel, how long, what were the conditions prior to the bottle being opened.
Not to mention you.
Yeah, I mean, your body chemistry changes on a daily basis, and there are every brewer will tell you, and I bet you a lot of winemakers will tell you, there's certain times where your own stuff tastes like crap. You just don't want to taste it. Something's going on. It could be just palate fatigue. It could be sometimes it's you. It's just whatever. So you never know when. There is no such thing as objectivity when it comes to taste. How can there be? So these point systems, I think, to Solomon's thoughts earlier, when you're first getting into it, it's a guide, right? It's like, what's leading me to appreciate something that the wine world, the beer world, accepts as good or outstanding or excellent or world shaking or whatever that may be. The other thing that people don't understand, I mean, and for our listeners, I'm not sure, or people new to the wine and beer, is it's not a straight line thing. I don't think it's a straight line thing. It's way harder to get from 90 to 95 or 95 to 100 than it is to get from 85 to 90, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's not logarithmic, it's not exponential, but it's almost like the Richter scale. The difference between an 85 and an 86 is pretty small, but the difference between an 86 and an 89 is pretty big, and the difference between a 91 and a 95 is, it's harder to reach those loftier numbers the higher you get.
Agreed. Yep.
So, and most wine that's made, just like most hamburgers that are made, McDonald's made a shit ton of hamburgers. That doesn't mean they're good, right? Mm-hmm. The vast majority of wine, the Ernest and Julio Gallo Table Red, would score a 56, right?
Meaning that it's wine.
Yeah, it's wine. We put it in a bottle. We say it's wine, so that's what it is. It's it's tough. I mean, and to Solomon's point earlier, you have to find your own palate,
Right.
right? And then, and then I don't care what other people say. If I dig a beer, if I dig a wine, I like it. You know what? And even my wife and I, as much as we appreciate the same types of things, there's been some wines that we've gotten in the last couple of months that I've really liked, but she hasn't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Jeff, did you want to finish up with your?
I don't even remember where I got cut off. I'm so angry. The only thing that's nice is it looks like the Sharks are about to win. So earlier, our buddy Dimitri, who everybody knows from the tavern, join us there at welikedrinking.com/tavern. I was asking him how he felt about wine scores. He said they're worthless. He's like, you have to try to find a score under 87. Do they even exist? Which I think is a really fair point there. On some level,
they do exist, just nobody publishes them.
certainly. And our buddy Stub of One Bourbon, One Shard, and One Beer podcast, make sure to check them out. He was saying that if you find a reviewer who shares your palate, go ahead and go with their thoughts. Also, scores are sometimes purchased, so be aware of that. That there is some shadiness at play. I wish I could say that people ever bought my opinion. They never have. I was kind of hoping to sell out, and it just hasn't happened yet.
And
but
if we're gonna throw gas on the fire, a lot of times when these are getting scores, the person tasting them may have tasted 78 wines before they tasted the one that got 92 or got 86 points, and that tasted a big behemoth of a wine beforehand and wrecked their palate. And this wine just it's flat to them because they're under so much palate fatigue.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is, like, I kind of got away from scoring wines a while ago. Not that I don't still evaluate them in my own mind and be like, oh, I like this a little bit more than this other wine of the same variety. Like, I do those things for myself, but I stopped giving scores because honestly, who gives a shit what number I give something? Like, whenever we're trying to put this seemingly objective score onto something as subjective as your preferences in wine, it's flawed from the get-go. Just like it's kind of like how the chain gang in football is flawed, because here you have the super precise measurement that doesn't matter because it all boils down to where does the referee feel like putting the ball.
Right.
And so that's kind of how I feel. Like, we're a bunch of referees that are watching this game from different angles. And we don't really have the benefit of GPS to tell us exactly where this ball is. So I can agree with those that are like, gosh, wine scores are a little bit ridiculous, but I also understand the need from a consumer perspective. And even today, I'm not going to tell you that I don't pay attention to scores, especially when I'm looking at wines that I haven't tasted yet and I'm seeing whether or not I want to buy them. It still matters when I'm holding these two bottles in front of me. It really does. So, it's shitty. I wish it weren't that way. I wish that it was more about like Pepsi and Coke, where it's like people just have their thing and they say, this is what I'm into. And F you're going to tell me different. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, I kind of wish that we, as a society, had a little bit more of that. Like, fuck you guys. I don't care if you're saying that the wine that I'm drinking is shit. I love it.
Yeah.
It's wine ratings are big business.
Yeah, and that, and that's really what it comes down to is we could rally against wine scores all the time and say that we shouldn't use them. But the bottom line is, it is major business, and it is a huge marketing tool that's used by any winemaker. That, you know, and most winemakers that have they may submit their wines to be reviewed, unless, you know, a Jeff Solomon picks it up and gives them a wine a 92, and the winemaker hears it. They may use that in their marketing campaign, but
I'm sorry. I just have to say this. It's like putting scores on things. It's just so weird, right? You know, Pavelski scores 1 goal and has 1 assist. He gets 1 star, but Tomas Hertl scores 1 goal and has 1 assist, and he gets 2 stars. So who's to say when your team comes out victorious over I don't even follow hockey. I don't even know how this thing goes. Apparently we won. Somebody's walking home with stars in their pocket.
Well, congratulations, Jeff Solomon, on your team making it through. That should be a good series. Sharks Blues for the Western Conference Finals. That should be a good series. Yeah, I mean, scores aren't going anywhere. And I totally get that they don't matter in the long run. But I wish we would just stop bitching about them so much. You know, I mean, I wish we could come up with a better system. You know, that would be something I would be really interested to see, as opposed to another person talking about how Robert Parker has ruined wine because he likes big fruit bombs, and now all the winemakers that submit their wines to him are making their styles to, you know what? That's what people like to drink. That's what a majority of people like to drink. And has he affected the wine game? Absolutely, has affected the wine game. Jeff, you look like you want to say something.
Well, I just feel like, you know, you're asking like there's got to be a better way, but what's the better way? Go look at online wine reviews with and without scores. If you erase the scores, they all sound the same. I'm sorry, they all sound the same, and I'm victim to that as somebody that used to write a bunch of reviews. I could go back and I could read you a review without the wine, and that could have been like 20 different wines that I was talking about, right? Like,
you know, and I've seen people give the ABC, which is the same fucking thing as
you don't like my patented scale of 1 to 10 where I shift the decimal point over?
I've seen the dump, or the dump or flush or buy or hold, I mean, I don't know. There's just, it's, I wish it would be more like Instagrammable, like you have like 6 styles, or like it's a fruit bomb, and you got this fruit explosion, or
you know what though? You know what we could do? I mean, we've got a podcast. We've got a whole medium we could work with. What if we just had sounders? It was just 2 sounders. It was either like a juicy fart noise, or it was that one song that goes bow bow. Oh yeah. That one.
Why is it gotta be a juicy fart?
Because that would be bad. I do not recommend putting this in your face.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
I went too far. I said the fart was juicy. I apologize.
Oh, I like it. I'm just trying to think of what the graphic would look like for the juicy fart wine noise.
No graphic though. Just the sound.
Okay.
It's like when Prince turned his name to a symbol.
All right. All right.
By the way, you can pronounce the symbol. You know what it sounds like?
A juicy fart.
control of this episode. All right. Thank you for that, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you, Stub. Thank you, Dimitri, for chiming in as well. Oh my goodness. I don't have a juicy fart noise, but I do have.
You can't say fart before playing that because that was like a dry fart.
That was the pull my finger. That was the here it comes.
Hey, come here. I wanted to tell you something.
All right, so let's get our listeners some discounts and give some stuff away. I got to make sure this is even going to work. All right, Father's Day is coming up, and we have an awesome deal for you. If you're looking to get something for Father's Day, consider getting them the. We had Nick Barasone on the show with High Camp Flasks. They've got their campfire and their half light flask for 750 milliliter, 375, double insulated, vacuum sealed, 24-hour temperature kind of flask that'll hold a whole bottle of wine. And it comes with, it's all stainless steel even on the twirl. What do you want? The stopper. And it comes with 2 magnetically sealed tumblers that you can take off of it to fill your glass up with your favorite drink. 15% off your order by using We Like Drinking at the checkout. You guys still liking yours? Have you killed anybody with yours yet, Jeff Solomon?
I keep trying to. Apparently, it's illegal.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay, so I am excited about this. We also had Christy Norman on a couple weeks ago. Oh, shit. All right, another pause. I need to put it up here in the window. Fuck this episode. God damn it.
Oh.
All right, I need to get to the show notes. Stub. This is just how your shows go, right? Your shows go way smoother than this. All right. That's not working. Perfect. Is Dimitri still with us?
I think both of them may have dropped.
Okay. I wouldn't doubt it. I would have as well.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Annette. Thanks for sticking around.
Thanks for sticking around here.
They left as soon as I said juicy fart. They were like, "I'm
out of here." All right. Shit, I gotta get one too. All right. Nope, not there. Okay, so I'm super excited about this. You remember we had Christy Norman a while back, and she released her online wine course. And we ran a contest on Instagram to give away one of her wine class with one login to it, one version. So we had over 100 entries into this giveaway, and I've got the big wheel up right now. You can't read anything because there's so many names in it, but I am going to give this a big spin. Lori B.
Oh my goodness.
Lori B. You are the winner of the Christy Norman online wine course. So congratulations. I will get a hold of you once this episode releases, and we will get you that class.
Lori wins everything.
Different one, I think.
Oh, well, congratulations, Lori. Even if you were the other Lori I was thinking about, I'd still congratulate you. Good job.
All right. Well, we're pulling into the train station to end this nightmare. So let's call.
Last call.
Last call.
Time to clean house and lock the doors. You know what we do here, folks? We're looking for your help to help us get the show out there. If you listen to this show and you like the show, share it with a friend. That's all we're really asking you to do. John, if the people want to check us out on the socials, what's the best way they can do it?
There's Twitter. There's Instagram. And our private group on Facebook, known as The Tavern.
Perfect. Whatever. Jeff Solomon, if they want to leave a review of how awesome this show is, where can they do it?
Hey, you're probably already listening to us on Apple Podcasts, so go ahead and scroll down, leave us a big fat 5-star review. And if you enjoyed the show in particular, make sure that you share it with a friend. Also, we love those reviews. We love reading them, seeing what we can do better. Although this was a whiz bang of a show right here. I don't think we could improve on anything.
No, not a chance. You can also go to welikedrinking.com/pledge to find out more information about becoming a patron of the show and helping support us and possibly getting Jeff Solomon to drink regular Pepsi next time, maybe.
Oh, that's got sugar in it. That'll never happen.
Yeah.
You can also find the show notes for this episode with all the links to the stories or mentions we had at welikeDrinking.com/podcast. Or if you're on your phone right now, just move your thumb around until it moves and then find the stars and hit 5. All right. Well, the train has pulled in the station and it's time where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around this table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
Oh, man. The clock is slow. I don't feel dirty. Class dismissed.
Jeff Solomon.
I have no idea what the hell just happened.
You don't? Oh my god.
Is that the hot for teacher thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that, like you're saying I'm looking very attractive these days? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Got it bad. I'm hot for teacher. I didn't even know how the guitar goes on that one. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for listening to the show, listeners. I'll just say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast,
where you'll never drink alone.
Wow. Thanks for listening, Jeff. Thanks for following Annette. Everybody that's watching the show, we appreciate your support.
Thanks, y'all.
See you next week.